Okay, I wanted to make a quick video on gravity before they change their definition of it. Earth's gravity comes from all its mass. And what they mean by mass is that the mass of the Earth is supposed to be weighing down on the fabric of space-time, which curves it. But I thought there was no down in space, so how could it be doing that? They use a bowling ball on top of a trampoline. The bowling ball is Earth, and the trampoline is the fabric of space-time, being curved by the bowling ball, which they represent as Earth. But what I really wanted to say, which I'll get to in a minute, but if gravity is created by the mass of the Earth warping space-time, or the fabric of space-time, what created gravity after the Big Bang that assembled the Earth to become so massive, which then curved the fabric of space-time to produce gravity? Again, after the Big Bang, it produced dust, particles, and swirling gas. So what attracted all those things together? What was so big that it curved the fabric of space-time to create gravity that assembled the Earth? That is a blatant contradiction. But what I really wanted to get to is what they say here. Okay, gravity and general relativity, which is a theory by the jerk Einstein, gravity is a fictitious force. Now, anyone with an IQ under 90 can define the word fictitious. You see, it's not considered a real force because they cannot directly detect it per current field wave beam or ray on the Earth. They'll tell you why don't we know what gravity is right here? Answer, we don't really know, but they use these lies about what they say it's doing, what it causes, alleged effects or results. Now, when they tell you the truth, this is the truth. They don't know because there's nothing to directly detect, isolate, magnify, zoom in on, nothing. Okay? And they're telling the truth. They don't know because gravity will never be directly detected. It'll always be a theory. It's a fictitious force. And I don't understand why people don't realize this. How can gravity be doing everything it's doing, holding every blade of grass, grain of dirt, grain of sand, person, place, and things to the outside surface of a giant spinning ball when it can't be directly detected doing so? There is no gravity itself. There is no graviton, super small particles. How can they say that when they admit right here they don't know? It is a fictitious force. Right here, it is fictitious. All right, are you telling me that the curvature of space-time is within our atmosphere and that the curvature of the alleged fabric of space-time has enough presence and substance to pull everything on that table down, but we can't directly detect it? I can wave my hand back and forth and the only resistance I feel is air. So, what is the presence and substance of the alleged curvature of space-time? The fabric of space being curved by a giant Earth weighing down, where they tell us there is no down in outer space, thus producing gravity. How is that? Why is it that you could turn on every electrical device in the world simultaneously and have a worldwide electrical thunderstorm and electricity wouldn't be doing 1% of what gravity is said to be doing every second of every day of every week of every month of every year? But we can directly detect electricity per current. We cannot detect any form of gravity, be it Newton's version, which emanates from the center of the Earth upwards and then right back down, or Einstein's version of mass curving the fabric of space-time. And that curve pushes everything to the center of whatever giant, massive object is weighing down on the fabric of space-time. What objects of great mass were present to curve the fabric of space-time to attract all the swirling gas, dust, and particles which became the Earth after the Big Bang? Now they're going to sit there and say that any piece of matter, be it a particle or a grain of dust, has gravity, it has mass. But you can put a BB next to a bowling ball, or you can put a BB next to a wrecking ball, and they will never attract each other. Okay, and this is why gravity is a fictitious force. Right here. It is fictitious. Anyone with an IQ over 90 can realize that gravity is made up. Of course, if we did live on a giant spinning ball on the outside surface, then yes, there would be a force or occurrence absolutely required to keep us upon it. Okay, but it would be real. It would have presence and substance. It would interact, engage, or engulf everything on the Earth, and we'd be able to directly detect it doing so. Gravity is way more active than electricity and magnetism combined. And we cannot detect any form of gravity itself. It's a fictitious force, fictitious, in which they admit they don't know because they have to say that. Because they don't. It's made up. 1 second, please. Another thing I want to show you is, well, I'm not going to show you all the other new videos about UFOs and the military installations or ships and carriers are detecting these aerial phenomenon in the sky. And this summer it's coming. They say, why are we hearing so much about this? It's because in the second stimulus package, a bill was passed into law to release all classified UFO information, and it's not for your well-being or to help you. It's an agenda. Okay, in my opinion, aliens are not from the Pleiades or the galaxy called Andromeda. They are from the Earth. They are demonic entities impersonating aliens, and they will be in bodies that are abominations created in laboratories mixing human and animal genome. Okay, because demonic entities are spiritual. They're not physical matter, and they need physical matter to possess, to do the charade of aliens. And many people are going to be deceived. Many, 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 many people. Now, I want to show you something I was watching on Nathan Oakley, where on Google Earth Pro, they can plot the distance between 2 points and then review the cross-section elevation. And you can see that the topography of Earth is not curving. Okay, 1 second. Now here on Google Earth Pro, you can plot 2 points from here to there, or any distance you want, and put your straight line, and then you can do the elevation profile, which is flat. The only drop is if you're up here and you're going this way. The drop is as you descend the mountain. But when you get to the Earth, especially over the sea level, it's level. There's no curving Earth. What are you going to say, globe heads, that the Earth is under, the spherical object of the Earth is under its surface? It's curving underneath. Deep underground, it's curving, but on the top, it's flat. The elevation profile, or as I call it, the cross-section and elevation, is and will always demonstrate the truth, because people, engineers, use Google Earth Pro to build. And they have to be honest. The elevation profile shows That's a mountain, and this is level. And you can do point A to point B, then do point B to point C, C to D, and compare all the elevation profiles and their level. There's no curve, 8 inches per mile squared, all lies. But this does require an IQ of about 95 and up to understand it. It also requires character to process and face new information of what is self-evident and plainly obvious.